So welcome everyone to Soulful Sunday. My name is Alex. It's an absolute honor and privilege to be here, as always, leading and guiding your practice. Let's begin on our backs, knees in towards our chest. Give ourselves a nice squeeze. And then bringing our arms out to our side, let's start to make little circles in our spine. Little circles. Little circles. And as we relax and release, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm curling my toes, and that helps bring sort of an unbrokenness to the body. It connects everything, nose to toes, crown of the head to tailbone. And again, you can use your yoga pillows, which are your hands, or if you want to throw a bolster underneath, you can. And just literally rolling out through that tailbone, allowing it to drop. Again, little circles. And then we start to spiral out. So as we spiral, the circle gets bigger and bigger, and the motion becomes a little bit more intense, but never so much that you lose that deep breathing. So as we inhale through the nose, we want to relax and release through the mouth. Push it all the way out. And then again, rebound. Inhale, feel that. Like a ball bouncing. And we regulate through the nasal passage. And you might feel that smoldering experience through the throat. That's the ujjayi. Good. Change it up. Other direction now as we warm up from crown of the head to the tailbone. Really tuck your chin. Get nice and long in the spine, because the spine is elongated, right? When the spine is aligned, it is feeling fine. That is the critical key, right? Feeling the healing in your body as you do this, because healing really is a physical sensation. Over time, you become more adept. You become more aware of it and its powers, because we increase the circulation, right? The cleanest moving water is the fastest moving water. And we increase circulation, which is blood flow, which is the metaphor of the water, through respiration and movement. So we do these two things. We breathe, we move, and the combination of the two creates this powerful healing effect in the body. Good. Now from here, grab hold of your knees, tuck your chin, reach on through. We're going to go for happy baby, but we're going to start in stirrup. So grabbing hold of the ankles and just relax back and just open up your knees now. So I like to call this Spider-Man pose, right? Just hanging out here, relaxing your back. Get everything aligned. So your tailbone can curl down, and then your tailbone can point up, and then point it down and point it up. And now you're really feeling that elongation of the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Good. Now, when you have that elongation and you feel you can roll it out a few times through the pelvic floor, then you're like, okay, don't lose that length when you transition into happy baby. And if you do, what you have to do is try and point that tailbone back down. And when I say point it down, I mean like this, right? So it's not pointing up to the sky, it's pointing down to the ground. So as you slowly transition, you'll lose a little bit because you have to reach for your feet. So again, head lifts off the ground, grab outside, lie back down, and then let your legs open up. And as you do that, your tailbone, I'm going to dramatize it, is going to float up. Point it down. Get that same length in your back. And then you draw your knees to either side of your abdomen. And how you do that is by just using your shoulders. So the arms stay straight, you use your shoulders, and that helps guide everything down to the ground. Beautiful. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. From here, let go of your legs, let them float where they are, And let's start to pedal out through our legs like a bicycle. So we call this yoga bicycling, the tour de yoga. And instead of traveling the vineyards and the mountains, we travel the inner landscapes of the heart. So we just bicycle our legs, let it flow, let it go. And again, making sure that spine is nice and elongated. So if your neck starts to curve, bring your hands behind it, let your elbows open up, or place a bolster underneath your head, whichever you prefer. 10, beautiful, stretching it out. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bigger movement, slower movement, like treading water in a lake. So again, it's enough to keep you up, but now you're really stretching. One knee bends, one leg straightens, so it's a little bit more of a core exercise. Again, really stimulating the abdomen. And again, breathing nose to toes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Cross your right leg over top of your left leg. Once you have it, grab hold of your elbows, lie back down, in for shoelace and pulse. Good. Want to take it to the next level? Some of you can. Feel free to hook it into eagle pose and pulse. Same thing. So either the legs are crossed, right knee over left, or you're going a little bit further into compression and bringing the legs together nice and tight and squeezing. Because when you release, you're going to get an increase of blood flow. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Uncross the legs. Left over right this time, bringing it towards you just like so. As you notice, forms like a triangle. Beautiful. If you want to go a little further, again, hook that foot and draw it in towards your chest. Good. Feel. Excellent. Deep breaths in, deeper breaths out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Uncross the legs. Draw knees into chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And when you're ready, we're going to kick up. And as we kick up, we come forward. We touch our toes. Good. Pulse a few times. Feel, feel, feel. And then we lie back. Hands on thighs. And the knees come with us. Then we tuck in towards our chest. Good. When we're ready, head lifts off the ground. Hands on thighs. Let the leg and the momentum of the kick bring you up. And then slowly lowering back down. Nice and slow. Feel every part of the movement. The slower you go, the better. But again, if you need a little bit more momentum to get up, just kick a little bit more vigorously. And we're just getting into that forward fold. I like to spend a lot of time doing this movement. It's a fantastic movement because you can flatten out the spine like a natural chiropractor. Right? Massage. That's the beauty of yoga. You really get all the healing modalities. Even acupuncture, right? We work with the meridians. That's what the prana is, right? The flow of prana. Imagine energy blockages like your nose being congested. Imagine all of these different postures are like blowing your nose, and then doing something like this is like sneezing. It's like achoo, right? And it just clears you out. It's not to say that the energy can't get blocked up again, but that's why we regulate the breathing. The breath regulation is really important, and that's why I encourage so much exhaling through the mouth and releasing, because before that regulation occurs, we really want to clear and cleanse. And that's why yoga is a two-part journey. Last week we talked about will and surrender. This week we're going to talk more about liberation and realization. And that's the key. So liberation is the cleansing, the clearing, and then realization is more of the regulation or awareness of what is rather than what is not or what should or could be. It becomes a must. Beautiful. Want to take it to level 2? Don't bend the knees, keep them straight, stretch up, and then slowly coming up. Again, nice long time here. Really enjoying this movement. It's a great way to stretch and strengthen. It's a great way to begin your practice. As we start to work towards our sitting series, stretching back and then coming forward. And again, just warming up the core, warming up the abdomen. Beautiful. We'll do 10 more breaths all the way in, all the way out. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. Coming up into our forward fold. Walk our hips back a little bit. And as we come into our forward fold, relax our head, relax our shoulders. Remember, don't substitute bent knees for touching feet. So first get the legs straight, reach as far as you can, and then bend elbows. And that will gently carry forward the entire movement. Let's get a little bit of a drop there. Beautiful. Good. And as we do this, legs straight, you can reach for outside the feet. If you can grab hold or on top, bend elbows. That's the micro movement. And then your head is like a low-hanging fruit. It gets riper and riper and riper until eventually there's this full surrender. Remember, use the power of your skeletal system. It's not just this pranic energy that affects our nervous system. It is, but it also affects our skeletal system. It's just more subtle, right? And so the weight of the head is like a 30-pound bowling ball, right? Don't underestimate the power of seeing things sectionally, but when it's useful, right? Liberate yourself. Let your head draw down. Let it get heavy, right? That's different than being sleepy, right? You're moving actively through the micro movement. Head is getting more and more relaxed, so you're releasing from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. And just like a ripe fruit, if you think about it, at each moment you're getting like an apple, or redder and redder and riper and more juicy and more delicious until finally you fall from the tree. And that is the perfect analogy of what the forward fold should feel like. Because when that happens, your back releases and you go into your organs and you start working with the ice cream scoop. We call this breathing the ice cream scoop, where you're pushing, right, with each exhale, that belly button towards the spine, and you're feeling that diaphragm lift up. We call this Uddiyaband, right? It's a flying upward of the diaphragm, and it's like an internal massage. So if you have anything going on with our organs, it's a wonderful way to massage the organs. Most people who have something going on don't do it because, again, it creates pains. And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to liberation. Unless we're going to communicate with our body, nothing's going to get liberated. There's going to be no liberty. There's going to be no treaty. There's going to be no communication, right? Communication is the key. And in order for communication to exist, there has to be listening and there has to be talking, right? There has to be two parties involved. And so what is yoga? Yoga is the union of any two things. So it's all yoga. And why? Because that liberation turns into realization. You know what it is. So we're going to do 3 Brahmari here. Brahmari is the strong hum, or the internal om. It affects every cell in your body. So we'll do it all together. And as you Brahmari, you'll notice you may be able to bend a little bit deeper into that forward fold. Let yourself, right? Find that new comfortable edge. So breathe with me all together. Deep breath in. Last one, make it your strongest. And side out. Beautiful, beautiful work. All right, coming up. When we come up, hands behind us, soles of the feet to the floor, windshield wiper the knees side to side. Try and get one knee down at a time. And as you do this, just move and groove side to side. And for those who want to take it a little bit further, remember as we transition, it's a forward fold. See the tight compression? And then it's a backward bend out of it. So it's a forward fold, backward bend. Forward fold, backward bend for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. We're going to go onto the left side. So this is known as deer pose. So I'm on the left side. My right knee is underneath the left sole of my foot. I'm going to massage out that hip. Massaging out that hip for 10. Just massaging out, just rolling it out. 9. For a lot of people, this is a strong sensation. Over time, it becomes less, but it always feels good. All right, just to massage it out here. Again, deer pose. For those who know me, one of my favorite yoga postures. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Now, there is your shin. Okay, so your shin is here. Place one hand on your left knee, the other hand on your left foot. So right hand on left foot. And you're going to move forward from here. Now, if we were doing pigeon, it'd be known as pro pigeon. So I'm not going to change my angle because we're all lined up right. Just come over your shin. So not your knee, your shin, and come forward. Now when you come forward, come down onto your forearms and you'll feel a nice pull in the hip. You're working with that pull. If you can go deeper, open up your elbows and bring your forehead down to your palms, or as low as you can get it to go. Good. Breathing here, 10 breaths. You'll feel it in that back body. Good. So we're following the digestive tract, moving from ascending colon to descending colon. And again, first stop stomach, second stop liver. So we'll work that way. But first we'll do this side, then we'll do the other side. Good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's do a Brahma right here. Deep breath in, really feel it through the body. In a way, it's your own sound healing. It's a way you target those stagnant areas through sound vibration. Beautiful. And slowly coming up. Again, massage it out, relax your jaw. You'll notice maybe a little bit of a pop. Good. Now from here, we're going to twist all the way through. So now, instead of the shin, we're going to go over the thigh. And as we go over the thigh, arms straight, and continue that micro movement forward and back. Forward and back. Nice and easy. And that really helps open up that lumbar spine, which we've been working on pretty much the entire time. That's what Sunday class is all about, right? It's about rising and reflecting. It's about being aware of the pains in our body. And as we said today, we're going to focus on liberation, realization, liberation of the body, realization of the mind. So we have to get comfortable in our bodies. In order to get comfortable, we have to be pain-free, right? In order to become pain-free, we really got to work it out through the micro movement, increasing circulation through respiration, increasing circulation through movement. So again, I'm just doing cat-cow basically here in the twist, moving it out, looking more and more to my left side, walking those hands out. Feel, feel, feel. Again, deer twist, one of the deepest twists we can do in yoga. So let's go a little bit deeper. Coming down onto our forearms. And again, if you wish, you can come all the way to the ground. I'm just going to stay on my forearms for teaching's sake and finding that nice, beautiful twist. Looking over left shoulder, relax your jaw. Right, 10 breaths here. 9, 8, 7, 6, all the way in, all the way out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. 1. Brahmari. This is going to be harder, but that's the point. I really want you to target the area between the hips, the heart, and the head through the Brahmari. So really target it like you're looking through a scope, right? Like you're looking through a telescope at a star. Your heart is a star. Look at that star. Try and locate it. And just like a telescope, it needs to be adjusted. Tiny micro adjustments, because everything is turning and spinning. Nothing is stagnant. Everything is moving. And as we've discussed before, stillness is anything but still. So it's always in perpetual motion. So we harmonize, we balance by getting into that flow. And that is truly the psychology and physiology of flow. Staying in motion with our emotions. Good. Deep breath into Brahmari. Beautiful. Push all the way until you quiver. That's your kundalini, that's your nervous system being affected. Beautiful. And when you're ready, rise up. And again, one more joyful time of just rocking over that hip, feeling the difference. It is a dramatic difference. If you didn't notice it because you weren't aware of it, stay aware of it to the next side. Once we roll over in the next side, you'll feel it. It's almost like a plastic feeling, and then it becomes almost a rubbery feeling. And that's how we want our body to be. We want it to go from brittle, right, to supple, right? And that's the key, from kind of like a dry branch to a sapling, right? It's very hard to break a sapling, right? It just bends. It's almost frustrating. That's how it should feel like in our body. It should feel frustrating to even get even close to injury, because there's just so much health and happiness that it's creating and promoting all this positivity, all this power. And we gotta induce it through patterns. The patterns are the asana with the pranayama, with the breathing. Beautiful. All right, flipping it over to the other side. This time, right knee, left knee. So a little bit clearer vision here. So allow yourself to come into a good way. And again, just rock it out. Rock it out, forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. Right, rolling out. So again, all I did was I was here, right? We were just here like this. Now we're here like this, and now we're just rocking it out. Rocking it out through that hip. And you can feel it through that hip. And that's what I was saying. Be sensitive to it, because when we're done, I really want you to take notice of how you feel, because that is the healing, right? That is the feeling. That's what's the reward, the realization that gets you to practice every day, right? Soulful Sunday is our once a meet, ceremony of sound and healing and feeling. And this class, was founded by my mother. She started this class going on almost 8 years ago, right? And as we've talked about before, it was passed on to me. I kept it going for years, and I started traveling, and I passed it on to my god sister Kat. She kept it going, then she moved away to Montenegro, and now I'm here with you back again. And it's a wonderful feeling to have this unbrokenness of practice, this beautiful 9 a.m. class that, again, attracts so many of you because it's such a beautiful way to start our day. But why? Why is it such a beautiful way? Well, I want you to feel it, and this is one of the ways we can feel it, right? You can know it just through this simple posture known as deer pose. So, knee to heel. Place your left hand on your right heel, your right hand on your right knee, and you can stop here. If this is as far as you want to go, great. Next level, we start to climb it through and forward. So I'll back up a little bit so you can see. So I'm here, I'm going over the shin to my forearms, and then again, relaxing the head. Right, and as you relax the head, you relax the shoulders, everything relaxes. And again, just getting in a good way. If you want, you can wing out the elbows, come all the way to the ground. I'm not gonna do that, just for teaching's sake. Crystal clear direction is through good communication. And with technology, that's through audio. So again, just staying upright for me feels great, but if it was my practice and I was on your side of the fence, I would go all the way down and just surrender to it. Good, 10 breaths. Good. Inhale, strong Brahmari, all together. Side out. Beautiful. Slowly coming up. Again, massage it out. Feel, feel, feel. Again, noticing the difference. I always like to really open my jaw. There's a vagus nerve that flows from our enteric system all the way up into our facial nerves. Relaxing the jaw. You'll get some cricks and cracks. It's very interesting to see how that connection happens. You go down deep and then you come up and you're like, that's interesting. You know, things are coming out. You'll notice me all the time twinkling my fingers, right? Haptic system. There's a homunculus in our somatosensory that kind of maps out where all the sensations are. Fingers, lips, mouth, eyes, right? Hands kind of take, feet all take precedence. They all have a lot more dedication, right? We're stronger sensations in these regions than, let's say, our back. Beautiful. From here, let's start to twist it out. Now we're going over the thigh. So again, as you twist it out over the thigh, forward and back. So again, cat-cow, but this cat-cow is a very unique cat-cow because it's a cat-cow with a twist. So just like a drink, and we say with a twist, which usually means with a lime, right? Feel that same kind of sour, sweet feeling here in the twist as we go forward and back. And you can look down and you can look up and you're just exploring. And as you explore, going deeper into your twist, deeper into your twist. And that area, as we said earlier, as we explore from the crown of the head down to the tailbone, the heart is getting harder to access. And that's what twisting is all about. Twisting is all about opening the heart. And so as you go deeper and deeper into your twist, start to breathe. We're going to do 10 breaths as we go down onto our forearms or all the way down to the ground. And this is one of the deepest twists you can do in yoga. And if you imagine it when we're lying on the ground doing the lying down twist, it's powerful, but this is actually more powerful because now the knees are directly to one side and you're using your arms or your elbows to really twist in the opposite way. Good. Now once here, 10 breaths in, 10 breaths out. And just like a telescope, really aim at the heart through the Brahmari, right? Let that vibration echo through all that stagnation. Deep breath in to begin. And exhale, let it go. Beautiful. Slowly coming up. Again, open up your jaw. All right, stick out your tongue. Feel your fingertips. Take notice of how your hip feels. You might feel nothing in the hip, where when you first started, you felt lots of sensation. Now you feel nothing. That's the reward, right? That's the flow we're looking for, right? That's what we want to get to. That's that sensation I'm encouraging as much as possible. Good. I'm going to turn and face you. You just stay where you are, but we're just going to let the knees go side to side again. Let the knees go side to side. So again, notice the difference. Backward bend, forward fold, backwards bend. All right, wherever you are on your mat. Again, I'm flipping and flopping, doing, a Michael Bay movie, multiple angles. Trying my best with one angle to do multiple angles. So again, just stay where you are. You know what you're doing, right? Your screen is situated where you want it to be. So don't worry, you don't have to move around your yoga mat. You don't need a circle mat to keep up with me. But that's why I like the carpet, so I can move in all directions and kind of give you the best angles. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Whenever you're on one of the sides, just come up into a cat-cow position. Let's do some cat-cow. And now we really get to feel it. So what other areas need to open up? So as we do our cat-cow, right, what other areas need to open up? And that's why I always like to encourage a rocking and a rolling motion. So it feels kind of weird at first because there's some areas that you kind of get patterned into. You're like, oh, this is my move. It's like, great, but can you go forward and do that same move? And you're like, oh, it feels a little shaky, or it feels a little hard, or why is it difficult to lift my head and my tailbone if I come forward? But vice versa, why is it hard to do it when you go back? And can you do it as you rock forward and back, right? You don't have to go all the way. If you can, great. That just means there's more suppleness in the body, right? So let it flow, right? Lift the wrists off the ground, right? Stretch it out and do as much as you want here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. And 1. Good. Coming down into puppy dog. And that's where we connect hips and heels. Once here, cat-cow here. Again, creates a different sensation. We keep exploring all these different sensations. Looking for that optimal rich experience in each and every moment, which I can only describe to you as being present to your presence, right? Your presence has power. We don't really feel it because we're stuck with ourselves all day, every day. But, when a stranger meets us, we're usually concerned with what's happening externally. We're usually concerned with what they're wearing, what they look like, what they feel like, how they talk like, right? It's natural, it's normal, it's called sensation. I want you to focus more on perception. Close the eyes, go inside. Imagine if you were to meet someone for the first time with eyes closed, and you could keep your eyes closed for 15 seconds, and you could create a whole feeling about them before you even opened your eyes. Imagine before you even opened your ears to hear them talk, you just felt their presence. Presence is a force. It's a real thing. It's like a magnetism. And that's why I've talked to you before about beauty being skin deep. Beauty is skin deep. But, it's more than just a platitude. It's actually a very powerful statement because the magnetism of the body is off the skin conduction. You feel it. There's some electrifying feeling you get. And you get it nose to toes. Your skin is the largest organ in your body. And so the more and more we can feel it, the more and more we can heal it. Good, beautiful. Now from here, let's just drop down into child's pose. Just rest it out. Relax. And we'll do one Brahmari here. Deep breath in. Beautiful. Coming forward into tabletop, curl your toes, downward facing, walk it out left and right, or if you prefer, pulse it back. Get those heels to the floor. So you're either getting the heels to the floor by drawing one leg at a time, or you're getting heels to the floor by pulsing both. Good. For 10, 9, 8, stretching and strengthening, 7, 6, relax your jaw, 5, 4, 3, 2, good. All the way forward into plank, all the way back into down dog for 10. Stretching and strengthening, 9. Tailbone goes back, tailbone goes forward, 8, 7, 6, 5. Don't worry, we're going to rest right after this. Work a little bit harder. 4, always good to weight the joints. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Kick that right leg high up in the air. Give it a little shake, move it around. Woo, feel. And then draw the right knee towards the right wrist. Walk that back leg. Pigeon pose. I would not deprive you of your pigeon pose. We skipped it today in deer pose because I wanted to go right into the full extension today. So again, just moving side to side. Again, feeling it, healing it, looking left and right. And again, you could do all the things that yoga teachers tell you not to do. You can bring your hip down, right? Really explore your body. Cat-cow. See how hard it is to cat-cow, right? Try that. Whoa. And what happens is, as you start to learn all these things, these are the little tricks that make your posture so much easier. So when you kick back, you actually curl your body. And if you keep curling, watch, I'll show you. If I keep curling, it's going to lift my leg. And that's a great thing. Good, let's come down, surrender into it. Relax a little bit more and relax a little bit more. Good, 10 breaths. 10. 9. 8. Remember, elongate the body as much as you're elongating the breath. That's the key to yoga. That is the secret, that the two are one. It's mind and body through breath. No breath, no connection. It's there, but it's not really there because you're not aware. There's no realization. There's just, little bits of liberation, but not enough to get to realization. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly coming up. And as we come up, we're going to do pigeon push-ups. So pigeon push-ups like this, arms out to the side, forehead down, coming up. You can use your arms, or if you prefer to challenge yourself, look ma, no hands, up and down. And challenge yourself even further, clasp your hands together, and get a super stretch. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. From here, again, let's try it together. Watch me. Watch me first, then do it. Curl, 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 curl. Press on the top of the foot. Curl, 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 curl. Down dog. Just try it. See how you can bring yourself back in a different way. Again, like I'm always trying to explain, it's all about your spine. Your spine is your sword. That's what yoga is teaching. Right? It's the blade of the sword. Where we cut through, that's the heart. That's what pierces. Right? The crown of the head, the third eye, that's what stabs. Right? It's this very powerful imagery. Right? Because we are yoga warriors. We are not yoga worriers. Right? We pierce through anxiety, depression. Right? How do we do that? By being present. Remember, depression's about rumination. It's all about the past. And it's different from sadness because there's guilt. That's what separates sadness from depression, the element of guilt. Beautiful. Left foot high up in the air, right? Liberate yourself from the guilt, from the shame, from the regret, and just be present. Feel the motion of your emotion. Left knee to left wrist. Good. Walk that back leg. Wonderful work, everyone. Doing great. Again, look left and right. Do all the things yoga teachers tell you not to do. Move around. Feel, feel, feel. Relax. Release. Move left and right. Move forward and back. Do cat-cow, right? It's hard. Ugh. All sorts of pains, right? Release. Release. Even though we've done cat-cow in all these different ways, now doing it in pigeon, again, it's new. And that's the key, right? We want to keep seeking new because new is now. And that's critical for staying present and expanding our presence. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly starting to lower down, getting into a more graceful position. All right, feeling here, healing here. Good, everyone. Wonderful work. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. 10. 9. 'Regulate your breath, regulate yourself. 7. 6. Calming and cooling. Long and peaceful. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Beautiful. And coming up for pigeon push-ups. So hands at your side, down and up, enjoying this movement. Oh, relax your jaw. Again, those who want a little bit more of a challenge, airplane your arms, lifting up and down, even more of a challenge, grab hold behind you, stretch back, reach up, and I'll just bring you up even higher. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Coming up. Again, cat-cow. And let's try it again. Curl. Really curl into cat. Press through the top of that foot. Curl, 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 curl. And that brings you back. Feel the power of your spine. Down dogging it right now. Beautiful. For 10. Walk it out, pulse it out. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. 2 options. We'll start with the knees to the ground option. Cross your feet, and you're going to do push-ups. And what you're going to do is heart down, and then curl your body like cat. So it's like cow, cat. Okay? Level 2. Straight up. Same thing. Look forward. Look down at your belly button. Look forward. Down at your belly button. Good. 10. Whatever option you're doing, you can change it up halfway through. 9, 8. Again, cat, cow. Good. 5. Beautiful. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower to the ground. Relax it out. Shift it out. Grow nice and tall, nice and long. Right. Surrender to the earth. Left or right ear, whichever you prefer. Deep breath in. Inside out. Good. Stay here. Take as much of a break as you need. Rest and relax. Recover. And then you slowly start to climb up. Arms straight and then back down. And then choose a different area. Slowly start to climb up till your arms are straight and then back down. So again, guiding that back bend from different areas and then releasing it down. Guiding that back bend from different areas and releasing it down. So eventually it gets closer and closer. As it gets closer and closer, your spine goes more and more vertical, but that takes time. And that's why we explore. Once your tailbone comes off the ground, you've gone too much. So if my hands are here and I straighten, right, no matter what, I can't keep my tailbone down. It's too close. So this is upward dog. So I want to go into upward dog. I want to go into walrus, or what they call cobra, right? You can have the elbows bent, right? So we're peeling off the ground like a cobra, right? Peeling off the ground. Tailbone stays on the ground. Beautiful. 10, 9, relax your jaw. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Lower yourself to the ground. Windshield your knees, your feet side to side. Just relax, release, relax, release. Grounding here on the ground. Letting that sensation dissipate. And when you're ready again, stretching the feet open, elbows come in, and try and touch your elbows. Try and touch your elbows for 10. It's like, oh, I can't touch them. Keep trying. 9, 8, pulse. 7, 6, lift your feet off the ground. 5, you got this. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push up, child's pose. Did a great job. All right, work hard, rest harder. All right, now you can feel that sensation even more so in the child's pose. Again, it gets progressively more powerful over time. All right, breathing you're feeling here. Relax, release. Good. One Brahmari, deep breath in. Beautiful work. Coming up in a tabletop position, curl your toes, come back and forward. Back and forward. You're going to get that nice stretch through that lower back now. Again, eventually making your way so that your heels go toward the ground. It's really hard to do, So don't worry if you can't do it. It's all about the journey. It's all about the journey. There you go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. Watch me transition 1. As we come back, let the hands come with you. Transition through, and then kick the legs straight, forward fold. Let's check in with our forward fold. See how we done today, right? How do we feel? How does our bodies feel? Right? Relax, relax. Relax your face, relax your jaw. Stick out your tongue, lion's breath. Right? Release it. Remember, there's lots of facial nerves. 12 facial nerves, 13, 12, 13, somewhere around there. Lots of facial nerves in the face. All connected to the body through the vagus nerve. This is the one that goes into your gut, to your enteric system. That's why we make the gross face. It's like, ugh, where we feel sick and our face just can't prevent itself from twitching or flexing. And these are the involuntary, nervous energies. Autonomic nervous system, enteric system. Ultimately, in yoga, we want to get as much control over it through awareness. So it's really about acceptance. But in order to get to that level of acceptance, we have to liberate ourselves, right? We can't accept things that we just don't accept. You can't just accept something you really don't accept. Your body won't allow you. Right? You can't just accept something that's grossing you out. It's very difficult. And I would say it's almost impossible. But you can accept something that you've liberated. So let's say it's really gross and you were able to, decorate it differently or, spice it up differently. Right? And then again, you might not like it, but now it's something you accept because you've allowed yourself through the power of awareness to change the energy. So again, it really has nothing to do with what is external. It has to do with what is internal. And liberation is all about understanding what we can control, what we have control over, and what we don't. So it really goes back to the serenity prayer. Give us the courage to accept the things, right, that we cannot change, or the courage to change the things that can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that's really the key. Very yogic in its nature. And when I say yogic, I just mean any two as one, right? Any two things in oneness. That's yoga. So if you got the oneness, that's the awareness. If you have two things, that's the energy. What binds them, what connects them, this invisible force, is a relationship. And we can form relationships almost out of anything. Again, as long as we can learn to accept them. Some things we can't accept, therefore we don't have yoga with those things. And so that's where liberation comes in. That's the work. And that's where we're building upon what we did last week with will and surrender. Beautiful. Let's do one Brahmari here to clear. Deep breath in. Good, and sliding on back. So sliding on back, heart leads, heart leads, heart leads, slowly, slowly, slowly. Don't worry, we're not gonna go all the way back yet. Let the feet lift off the ground and hold. Curl your toes, hands to the ground, and hold. And then see if you can lift your legs up even higher, and then drop them down. And then higher, and drop them down. For 10, keep your hands on the ground. 9, 8, 7, relax your jaw. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and best part, 1. Yes, everyone, we did it. Whew. All right, squeeze your glutes, release your glutes. Right, get as comfortable as you can on the floor. We call this 5-pointed star. And when we settle into it, we call it Shavasana. And Shavasana is the integration. Basically, it's just like the difference between sitting and sitting meditation, right? It's the experience of sitting. It's the experience of stillness, silence, and spaciousness. You can just be sitting, right? You can just sit, right? It's like lying down. At the beginning of class, we lie down. We don't do Shavasana. Shavasana is an integration. It's about doing nothing, not breathing, right? We're not even feeling. We're just aware. It's like a super high state. It's the highest state. That's why it's called meditation. It's about being awake and aware to what is, rather than what should or could be, or what it isn't. You're just aware of what is. There's no alternative. There's no option. And this is how we can really support our mental health. Mental health is all about separation, right? We get into mental distress, we get into suffering, we get into despair because we form separation. The self feels separate. And when the self feels separate, there's loneliness, there's selfishness, there's self-interest, right? There's all sorts of things that come about from separation. So what does medication do? It brings us back into balance. Balance with what? What is normal? Right? What is normal? There's no such thing. Studying at U of T for 4 years, I just got constantly told by some of the best professors in the world, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it might be a turkey. So that's our mental health. That's how elusive it is. That's how tricky it is, even at the highest levels. So even with fMRI machines and, pharmacological solutions, it's that tricky, right? We can never depend on our clinical judgment. We have to believe in evidence-based practices. And why I'm such an advocate of yoga is because I believe it is the ultimate evidence-based practice. And unfortunately, it's not something you can prescribe to someone. You can't make someone do yoga, right? It has to be done in themselves. So those who suffer too much can't do yoga because they don't have the will that we talked about last week to stay with it, to experience it, to allow themselves that opportunity. They're too sick, they're too broken. It's like asking someone to do a hot room practice with high blood pressure, right? It would not be good for them. It's like asking someone to do a backflip, if they're paraplegic. They couldn't do it. It's just asking the impossible. And there are those people that suffer too much. And then there's those who suffer too little that literally don't need yoga because they are healthy, they are happy. They don't need yoga. They're good. And maybe we were once there. And maybe that was our childlike state, where if you look at a child and you see them do handsprings and cartwheels and they're always playing, they don't need yoga. They're not suffering. But the moment they start crying or they get stressed, right, the breath gets short, and the first thing we encourage is deep breathing. Well, that's yoga, right? That's pranayama. Deep breathing is a synonym for pranayama. And again, that's where the practice begins. Take a couple deep breaths and then stay with those deep breaths. And again, you'll never meet someone who's sad or angry taking deep breaths, right? It just doesn't exist. The mood won't allow it. The nervous system is running too hot or too cold. So to get balance, we use the breath and the postures to regulate ourselves, become pain-free, to liberate. And so this is where all of us here today are just right. We've all maybe suffered too little, we've all maybe suffered too much, but in this moment, we've suffered just right. And just right is enough to know that we need practice. And being here on Soulful Sunday, that's my ceremony for today. That's what I want you all to know. Take solace and deep regard and integrate that teaching into your practice right now as you lie here still. right? Like water in a pail. As we spin on the earth, spins around the sun spins around the galaxies in this giant spinning, expanding universe. And there's just so much motion. I want you to feel the emotion of that motion. And that's what we call peace, compassion, kindness. That's what we call being. Not as a noun, but as a verb. And you are being. And you're being with every other living, breathing being, known to us. The planets, the stars, the plants, the animals. Everything. You are everything. They say there's, for every synaptic connection, for every neuron in our brain, there's a star in the sky. It's an incredible inner to outer journey that the yogis have always taken. That the universe is truly within us, and that we are born of the universe, not even just the earth, but the universe. So just with that, cosmic consciousness, just take a deep breath in and let's Brahmari through our whole body. Deep breath in to begin. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. And if you're practicing on your own, I want you to put your hands on your heart and just give yourself a little self-love. For those who joined us with a partner today, I want you to hold their hand. Okay? So again, we're tethering hearts and hands. Right? It's really, really important. Right? Getting that strong sensation. Right? And just feeling. There's no need to squeeze, there's no need to push, there's no need to pull. Right? Just hold. Right? And hold lightly. Right? Hold caringly, with intention. Don't have to do anything. That's the key. Don't do anything. Just be and breathe. Make that connection with your hands on your heart. Because if you can make that connection with your hands on your heart, that's like holding another. And if you are holding another, that's just like putting your hands on your heart. It's the same thing. It's the same love. So it moves through us. Hands to hearts. Good. 10. Breathing all the way in, all the way out naturally, normally. 9. Really enjoying the sweetness of this moment. 8. Letting go, letting be. 7. Smiling from your heart center through your third eye. 6. Radiating joy all around you. 5. Being peace, knowing it deeply within you. 4. Knowing it, showing it, breathing it, being it. 2 and 1. If you're holding your partner's hand, just give it a little squeeze. And then just return and join all of us with our hands above our heads. Stretch back, reach back, grow nice and tall. Twinkle fingers like stars, roll out through the heels of the toes. And then slowly bring the soles of the feet to the ground, windshield wiper the knees side to side. Relax your jaw again. When you're ready, roll onto left or right side, whichever you prefer. And come join me in a comfortable seated position, whatever that is. Once here, bring your hands together. Create some warmth. Bring your hands up over your head. Let's shower down on you. Eyes open, eyes closed, doesn't matter. We're just stimulating our brains. We're waking from our awakening. Again, a tired person has a really hard time doing this, so it's a great way to wake up. Good, and let's go really, really fast for 5. Super fast, 4. Really stimulate our brains to wake up. 3, 2, and 1. Let it open up. And feeling the healing. Just
holding and being held by the energy. Energy always follows awareness. So as you're holding it, it is holding you. Imagine your palms are the corners of the room, and then what you're holding in between your palms is being held in the different places, all shared by this space. And this is what is known as distant healing. It's absolutely possible. It's within all of us. We just have to be awake to it. It's not a special gift for the special few. It's a siddhi in yoga, and it's just something that needs to be developed through liberation, right? Breaking through the ignorance, using our will, and then surrender to it, just allowing it to happen. Because one rogue thought is all that separates us from everything else. So watch the thought, their ways with care. Let them be born of love and compassion for all beings, especially yourselves. So when you're ready, we're going to Brahmari or mantra Om, whatever you prefer. We're going to slowly close the palms together to close the practice. Deep breath in. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, peace, peace. In your hearts, in your lives, and everything that you see, are, and be. The light in me sees and shares the light in you. In love, with love, through love. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today. Namaste. Yay! Great. I feel it. I feel